Welcome to Celebrity Scoop. If you haven't yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future updates. Now let's dive right in. The charity Sentebale, established with the noble intentions of Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso, has been a beacon of hope for many over the years. However, of late, under the stewardship of Sophie Chandauka, it seems to be navigating through turbulent waters. The concern here is that Sophie, rather than owning up to the situation, is attempting to pin the blame on Prince Harry for the charity's current predicament. Let's consider what transpired on the Jeremy Vine show. The public opinion that emerged was resonating with support for Prince Harry. The majority of callers were quick to point out Harry's unwavering commitment to Sentebale. They also noted the resignations of key figures from the charity as evidence of the real problem, a leadership issue under Sophie Chandauka, not the absence of Harry. It is interesting to note that since Sophie Chandauka took over, several key staff members have resigned. One caller, in particular, questioned why this critical aspect was being overlooked by the media. Another caller underscored the fact that significant donors have shifted their support to other charities, particularly the Invictus Games, which still enjoys a strong association with Prince Harry. The overarching sentiment among these callers was that Sophie's leadership was the root cause of the instability, not the absence of Harry. However, there was one caller who chose to focus solely on criticising Harry for his titles, sidestepping the real issue at hand. What was even more interesting was that Jeremy Vine allowed this caller to voice their opinion without interruption. Yet when another caller brought up the potential involvement of Prince William's associates in the scandal, their time was quickly cut short. As we continue to stand with Prince Harry, it's evident that his commitment to charitable work remains steadfast. People are seeing through the attempts to make him a scapegoat. So, the question arises, why is Sophie Chandauka deflecting blame instead of taking responsibility for her leadership failures? And why is the media so keen to protect certain individuals while silencing others? Now, let's delve into the public's opinion on this matter. Recently, on the Jeremy Vine show, the public made their opinions heard loud and clear. The phone lines were abuzz with callers voicing their thoughts on the ongoing saga of Sentebale, the charity co-founded by Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso. The heart of the conversation, the recent struggles of the charity under the helm of Sophie Chandauka and the misguided attempt to lay the blame on Prince Harry. The majority of the callers echoed a similar sentiment, their unwavering support for Prince Harry. They highlighted his dedication to Sentebale, a commitment that has been evident since the charity's inception. One caller astutely observed, "Harry has always been there for Sentebale. The issue isn't him, it's the leadership." This sentiment was further bolstered by the fact that several key figures from the charity have resigned since Sophie Chandauka took the reins. A caller questioned, "Why is it that since Sophie took over, people have been leaving? Shouldn't we be looking at her leadership instead of blaming Harry?" Another crucial point raised by the callers was the shift of donor support. Many of Sentebale's major donors have redirected their funding, with a significant portion going to the Invictus Games, a charity still closely associated with Prince Harry. One caller noted, "Donors are voting with their money. They're choosing Harry's Invictus Games over Sentebale. Isn't that telling?" However, the consensus among these callers was not unanimous. There was one voice that stood out against the crowd, focusing on criticising Harry over his titles rather than addressing the real issues plaguing Sentebale. What was striking was how Jeremy Vine allowed this caller to voice their criticisms of Harry without interruption. Yet, when another caller brought up a potentially explosive point, that associates of Prince William might be linked to this scandal, Vine was quick to move on, not allowing the point to be explored further. The question that arises from this is why the focus is being shifted away from the leadership and onto Prince Harry. Why are pertinent issues being swept under the rug while scapegoating the prince? The callers on the Jeremy Vine show certainly seem to think there's more to the story than what's being told. Interestingly, not all callers shared the same sentiments. There were a few who challenged these perspectives, but their voices were drowned out in the overwhelming support for Prince Harry. Whether this speaks to the prince's popularity or the public's skepticism towards the media narrative is something we'll leave you to ponder. The media's role in this controversy is not to be overlooked. It's becoming increasingly clear that there's a bias in how the narrative is being shaped. Now let's take a closer look at what happened on the Jeremy Vine show. It was striking how certain callers were allowed to speak at length, while others were rushed off the air. One caller, who focused solely on attacking Prince Harry over his titles, was permitted to speak without interruption. Yet, when another caller raised a crucial point about possible links to Prince William's associates, they were quickly dismissed. It begs the question, why was this caller not given the same opportunity to express their views? This isn't an isolated incident. It's a pattern that we've seen time and time again. The media seems to have a vested interest in protecting certain individuals while silencing others. It's not about fair and balanced reporting, but rather about controlling the narrative and shaping public opinion. It's a manipulation of the truth, and it's being done with a clear agenda in mind. What's even more troubling is the media's eagerness to deflect blame away from Sophie Chandorkar. Despite the fact that multiple key figures have resigned since she took over, and major donors have redirected their support elsewhere, the media continues to paint Prince Harry as the villain of the piece. It's a narrative that doesn't hold up under scrutiny, yet it's being pushed relentlessly. The media's role in this controversy is far from neutral. It's acting as a gatekeeper, deciding who gets to speak and who doesn't, which views are amplified and which are silenced. It's a disservice not only to Prince Harry and Centre Bailey, but also to the public who deserve to hear all sides of the story. So, what does this mean for Prince Harry and Centre Bailey? It means that it's more important than ever to question the narrative being presented to us and to seek out the truth for ourselves. Despite the controversies, support for Prince Harry remains strong. The public isn't blind to the unwavering commitment he has shown to charitable work throughout his life. Regardless of the noise and the attempts to discredit him, there is a clear recognition of his dedication. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. Prince Harry, with his brother Prince Seiso, co-founded Centre Bailey, a charity aimed at supporting the mental health and well-being of young people affected by HIV in Lesotho and Botswana. This commitment didn't falter, not even amidst the whirlwind of his personal life. His heart has always been in the right place, with the right cause, and the people see that. Supporters of Prince Harry have been vocal, not just on the Jeremy Vine show, but across various platforms. They've highlighted his consistent dedication to Centre Bailey and his ongoing commitment to the Invictus Games, another initiative he holds dear. This public backing isn't based on his royal title, but on the character he has demonstrated through his actions. The attempts to scapegoat Prince Harry for the challenges facing Centre Bailey have not gone unnoticed. People are seeing through these efforts. They're questioning why the focus is being shifted onto him, while the real issues within the charity's leadership are being ignored. The public is smart, they're observant, and they're not easily swayed by skewed narratives. In a world full of quick judgments and finger-pointing, it's refreshing to see that support for Prince Harry remains strong. His dedication to making a difference, to supporting those in need, is not overshadowed by the controversies stirred up by those with different agendas. So as we stand with Prince Harry, we also stand with truth, fairness, and accountability. We stand with the belief that every story has two sides, and it's only fair to hear them both before casting judgment. In the end, it's about integrity, it's about transparency, and it's about doing what's right, not what's easy. As always, the truth will prevail. Yet, amidst all this, Sophie Chandorkar continues to deflect blame. Rather than accepting responsibility for the evident instability within the charity, she has chosen to point the finger at Prince Harry. This scapegoating, however, is not fooling many. Most people can see that Harry's dedication to Centre Bailey has been unflinching, a dedication that has not wavered even in his absence. Sophie Chandorkar's attempts to shift the blame onto Prince Harry are not just troubling, they're also revealing. They raise questions about her ability to lead, and her willingness to take responsibility. It's clear that the charity's struggles began under her leadership, and yet she seems more interested in placing blame than in addressing the underlying issues. This refusal to acknowledge her failures and instead blame Prince Harry is a deflection that many are finding hard to swallow. One thing is certain, the Centre Bailey charity saga continues to unfold.